Hi, I'm Chris Grabenstein. I'm the author of Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library, and I'm very excited that the new graphic novel is part of the Summer Reading Challenge. Oh, the book's been out there for 10 years, but we turned it into a graphic novel, and now you can go on an exciting adventure with Kyle Keeley and all of his friends inside the most fantabulous library ever created. Can you find the way out before the kids in the story do? The challenge is yours.
Hi, I'm Hanah Khan, and I'm the author of the Super You series, The Power of Flight and The Power of Invisibility. These are pick your path adventures, branching stories that are choice driven, where you direct the narrative and you get to make choices that take you on different reading adventures. And I'm so excited to have these books be part of the Summer Reading Challenge.
And it is, if I may say, and it's quite an adventure. I've been reading your book and I keep making all the wrong choices. I keep just getting kicked out. I just terrible.
So, Chris, can you tell us a little bit more about the adventures kids will go on when they read your
Well,
book?
that would be great. Yeah, this is in this book, there are all sorts of puzzles and riddles to try to figure out. And you'll go on an adventure. Luigi Lemoncello is the most incredible bazillionaire game maker ever. And he's put about $50 million into building a really cool library in his hometown of Alexandrville, Ohio. So you'll get to go on all sorts of adventures. There's actually parallel paths, sort of like your book, Hanah. There's one path that Kyle and his friends will take, and another path that Charles Chiltington will take. And I don't know who's going to get out first. I can't wait to get to the end of this book. But Hannah, now tell me, I've been enjoying the adventures that I've been going on in your book. Can you tell us a little bit more about how this works? This is like a puzzle come to life.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot like a game because you are the main character in each of these books, and you get a special power, whether it's invisibility or the power of flight. And then as you're reading, you're presented with different choices that you make, and each choice encourages you to turn to a different page in the book. And takes you on a different path. So, depending on what you choose, you may be headed towards being a superhero, which you can tell from the cover, or a supervillain.
What I think is so cool about this book is you could reread it like 20 different times. You could fill your whole summer just going back and forth and reading different stories in your book.
Yeah, that's what I love about them is that you do have the chance to keep going back. So if you don't like the way a choice works out or you want to see what else would happen if you made a different choice, you can keep going back and reading again and again.
If only life were a pick your own path book. Get to go back and make new choices. I've been having a lot of fun reading this book. And I think, we're talking a little bit about summer reading. And I think summer reading is the best kind of reading because you can do most of it for fun. I know sometimes schools tell you read these books over the summer, but summer's long and you get to read for fun. And to me, that's why I always love summer reading. And a book like Hanah's is the perfect book for summer.
And yours, of course, which is so fun too. And I know kids are devouring graphic novels, and I'm halfway through and I'm enraptured. So it's so
Yeah, it was
fun
a lot
too.
of fun to do this graphic novel, and we were very lucky that Douglas Holgate, who illustrated all the Last Kids on Earth books, did the
Yeah,
illustrations in this book.
I recognized it. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
that's great.
he really brought the story to life. And so it's kind of like a movie for the mind. It would be a good summer book. Kind of sit down. I can see myself in a chair underneath a tree, maybe a hammock. Could be a good hammock book. But
And I love the idea of getting to go to this library. How amazing would it be to get to be in a library like this? But I wonder what type of memories you might have about summer reading and maybe being in the library as a kid yourself.
Well, when I was growing up, libraries were not the cool places that they are now. When I was a kid, the library was a place where someone went, "Shh, be quiet, young man. You'll wake up the books. Get your sticky fingers off the books, young man." But I have gone to a lot of summer reading programs at libraries all over the country, and they are a lot of fun. It takes a lot of work to put them together, but man, they really are a fun way to spend the summer. And that's what's so cool. I do have faint memory of a bookmobile in Buffalo, New York, which is where I was a young kid. And then I moved to Tennessee later. But in Buffalo, New York, there was this bookmobile that would come around. And it was kind of like this magic carpet ride because you went into what looked like an ordinary school bus. But inside were all these books, and you could go so many places without ever leaving your backyard.
Yeah, that is amazing. I love
How
that.
about you? Do you have memories of childhood time spent in libraries in the summer?
I did. In fact, the library was where I spent most of my summer, most of my childhood. And it largely was because my mom realized it was a way to keep us entertained and out of her hair. So we would actually go with bags from the grocery store. It was called Giant Food, and we would take these giant brown paper bags with us and fill them up with books. And I remember coming home and dumping them out all over my floor and sorting them by, what I wanted to read first and what I wanted to reread. And that was really a lot of how I spent my time. And it was, I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, and it was hot and humid outside. So I'd play outside until I couldn't stand it, and then come in and cool off and read and relax. And that was a lot of my summer. So I have very fond memories of the library, even though, as you said, it wasn't as structured then, and there weren't as many awesome programs as you find at so many libraries now, where they really engage kids in all sorts of great activities and programs, but it was still a special place to me.
Yes, and you're right that when you're reading over the summer, you can go on adventures in air-conditioned comfort. This is a good point. You can go to the
Exactly.
sweaty Amazon jungle, go on an adventure all over the world, and never leave the comfort of your home. This is a good thing.
Yeah, and no one will ever complain to see you snuggled up with a book, right? It's one
Now
of the
that
things that
is
will make
true.
the
I've yet to
grown-ups in your
find
life, right?
I've yet to see a grown-up who said, "Quit that reading, young man." No, that's right. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I think the pressure is off because sometimes in school the pressure's on. You got to read this and do a report and answer questions about it. But in summer, it's just fun. Even if you have to read like a book for school, it's more fun in the summer.
Yeah, yeah. And there's different ways you can challenge yourself, whether it's, seeing if you can get through a whole series or, all the books by your favorite author or whatever it is, reading as many different types of genres. There's so many
That's
ways you
very
can challenge
true.
yourself to go on different adventures. Maybe you could join a book club or create a book club with your friends and read together. Lots of fun ways to stay
That's
engaged.
true. You could read the entire Lemoncello. There are 6 books now in the Mr. Lemoncello series, and the 7th book's coming out in November. That'll be the finale to the whole Lemoncello universe.
Wow,
So you could
congratulations.
challenge yourself this summer to read those first 6 ones so you're ready for the 7th one. That's a good idea. I like that idea.
And tons of adventures to go on in each, right? So how fun
Yeah,
would that
they're every book has an adventure, and I really do like this pick your own path kind of story. I think I might spend my I didn't know there was a second book. I just got the first one. When is the second one
be?
out already?
It is, yes. And
Oh
so
wow.
when in each of these books, you're going to have the opportunity to fight or join evil villains or aliens, to either be chased by or protected by a pack of dogs, to, either help out or torment your friends, really, depending on what choices you make. Lots of different opportunities for different, very different types of adventures.
So it's a really hot, muggy day. You might pick the villain path. If it's a nice, pleasant day, maybe the hero path. So it's
Exactly.
exciting. Yeah, that's is great. I think summer reading, it is a wonderful time to go on adventures. You can just let your mind go. You can spend. I remember, and when I was a kid, my dad had a lot of books, and he'd let me read some of them, like the Agatha Christie kind of mysteries. I
Oh,
could read
wow.
those,
Yeah.
and there was nothing better than getting started in the morning and finishing a book by that evening because you just have the whole day laid out in front of you. And I didn't
Yeah.
have much pressure. I had some swimming lessons I had to go to, I think, but that was about it in the summer. So it's a
Yeah.
wonderful time just to get lost in stories.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, we were talking about how relaxing it is in the summer to do summer reading, but we have to say thank you to the librarians who make it so easy for the rest of us to relax and enjoy our summers by working so hard to put together these summer adventure reading programs.
Absolutely. It is a lot of work, but you make it look easy. And so, huge thank you from us for all the hard work and for getting kids excited about reading and giving them so many different avenues to pursue what they love.
Yeah, there's nothing I like better. Like I visit some libraries over the summer when we're traveling around, and I sneak up on them, and the librarian's out in the yard with an open book and all these kids around them, and they're all having the time of their life, and it's so much fun. But I've gotten to talk to some librarians. They let me know how much work it goes into planning those what look like such effortless mornings out on the lawn in this bucolic summer setting. So thank you, librarians. You sacrifice your summers so the rest of us can enjoy ours. And kids, happy reading. You got to fight the summer slump. I don't know if you've heard this, but if you don't read over the summer, not only will you kind of go backwards in your reading ability, but hair will start growing out of your ears. That has been a science, and they've proven that if you don't read enough over the summer, you're going to go to school in the fall with very hairy ears.
And like Chris said, he mentioned swimming. Reading is something that's like exercise for your brain, right? Except just like swimming, it's super fun. So you get to do something enjoyable that's also good for you. And that's the best part of it, to go on these awesome adventures and stretch your brain and come back to school smarter than you left.
Teachers will be amazed.
Happy reading.
Happy
Enjoy your
summer
summer.
reading, everybody.